Let's jump right in. Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving straight into the biblical text to uncover some absolutely amazing tools he has given us for our everyday lives. I'm so glad you're here with us. We're going to be hanging out in the book of Proverbs, specifically chapter 24. Now, Proverbs is kind of famous for being this massive collection of wise sayings. Think of it like the ultimate guidebook or a master toolkit for how to live a good, strong, and genuinely helpful life. We're going to unbox that toolkit today and figure out exactly what kind of wisdom we can use at home, at school, and pretty much everywhere in between.
But hey, before we go any further, I've got a really fun question for you. Did you know the biblical text actually compares being smart, like making really good choices, to eating sweet, delicious honey? I mean, it sounds a little crazy, right? Usually when we think about learning rules or trying to be good, we definitely don't think about our favorite dessert. But the biblical text tells us that true wisdom is exactly like that. It's meant to be something super good, something sweet, and something that actually gives you energy. Keep that tucked in the back of your mind because we're about to go on an incredible journey today to find out exactly what that all means.
First up, be brave and help others. Let's see what true wisdom looks like when trouble shows up.
Okay, let's dive into this first piece of the biblical text. The verses here say, "If you falter in a time of trouble, how small is your strength? Rescue those being led away to death. Hold back those staggering towards slaughter." Wow, those are some really strong words. To falter basically means to hesitate, to freeze up, or just totally lose your courage. He's reminding us here that he wants us to be strong and step up to help other people. Just think about it like being on the school playground. If you see a kid who's being bullied or picked on, well, that's a time of trouble. And sure, it's scary, but wisdom tells us not to falter. Wisdom tells us to be brave and be the rescuer.
Now, sometimes when we see trouble happening, our very first instinct is to just look the other way. We might think, well, if I just walk away, I can totally pretend I didn't see it, and then I don't have to get involved at all. But the biblical text says, if you say, "But we knew nothing about this," does not he who weighs the heart perceive it? See, we can't just pretend we didn't notice someone needing help because he weighs our hearts. He knows our true intentions. He guards our lives, and he sees exactly why we do the things we do. So true wisdom is choosing to help, knowing that he's watching and cheering us on every step of the way.
All right, moving on to our next section. Wisdom is sweet like honey. We just talked about being brave, but now we finally get to that sweet stuff I mentioned earlier.
Eat honey, my son, for it is good. Honey from the comb is sweet to your taste. Know also that wisdom is like honey for you. If you find it, there is a future hope for you, and your hope will not be cut off. I absolutely love this part. Just like your favorite sweet treat gives you a massive burst of energy and makes you smile, learning his truth literally makes life sweet. When you're making wise choices, you're actually building a wonderful, hopeful future for yourself. It isn't just some boring list of rules. It's practically the recipe for an amazing life.
So, what exactly is this wisdom that's supposed to be as good as honey? Simply put, wisdom is knowing what he wants us to do and then actually choosing to make that right choice. It's all about combining the knowledge up in your head with the courage down in your heart. And the biblical text promises us that when we find this wisdom, our hope will never ever be cut off. It's a sweet reward that stays with us forever.
Next up is a section we call Keep Getting Back Up. This one is super important, mostly because, let's be real, nobody makes the wise choice 100% of the time.
So why the number 7? This actually comes from verse 16 of our reading. And the number 7 is a really big deal in the biblical text. The verse says, "For though the righteous fall 7 times, they rise again." 7 times. That means even good people, people who are trying their absolute best to follow him, are still going to mess up. They might fall down, fail a test, or just make a bad choice, over and over and over again. But what makes them righteous isn't being perfect. It's the fact that they always rise again because he gives them the strength to bounce back. And this brilliantly illustrates the big difference between living with wisdom and living without it. On one side, we have the righteous, the people who are actively seeking his wisdom. When they fall, they get back up with his help. On the flip side, we have the wicked, those who choose to do bad things and just ignore him. The text says the wicked stumble when calamity strikes. Basically, when trouble hits them, they stay down. They just don't have that sweet honey of wisdom to give them the hope and the energy to rise again. So when you make a mistake, and you will, don't stay down. Grab onto his hand and get right back up.
Which brings us to our 4th lesson. Be kind to your enemies. Now, it's pretty easy to be kind to our friends, but what about the people who aren't exactly nice to us?
I want you to really think about this for a second. What if the school bully falls down? Or what if that kid who is always saying mean things to you suddenly gets in huge trouble with the teacher? Take a moment.
Let your mind imagine your absolute worst enemy getting into a mess. What is your very first natural reaction? Be honest. A lot of us might want to point and laugh or think, they finally got what they deserved.
But the crucial point is found right here in verses 17 and 18. It says, "Do not gloat when your enemy falls, when they stumble. Do not let your heart rejoice, or the Lord will see and disapprove." To gloat basically means to brag or be happy about someone else's bad luck. Even if someone has been truly awful to you, he disapproves if we celebrate when they get hurt. He's reminding us to show compassion instead of joy at someone's failure. Now that is some next-level wisdom. Doing that really shows that our hearts are becoming a lot more like his.
Finally, let's look at walking in his wisdom. What an incredible journey we've been on today. Let's pack up all this wisdom and figure out how to carry it into our week.
We've actually created a really practical toolkit today based entirely on the verses we explored in the biblical text. Here is exactly how you can walk in wisdom every single day. Step 1. Stand up for others. Don't falter when you see trouble. Be brave and rescue those who need your help, knowing he sees your heart. Step 2. Keep trying and get back up. Remember that big number 7? Even if you completely mess up, his wisdom gives you the hope to rise again. And step 3. Be kind even to enemies. When someone mean stumbles, show them compassion instead of gloating over it.
So I want to leave you with this one final, really powerful question. How are you going to use his sweet wisdom in your life today? Because wisdom isn't just something we read about in a book. It's something we actually do. It's the sweet honey that gives us the energy to make the whole world around us brighter. So as you head out into your day, whether you're at school, at home, or just hanging out with your friends, really look for those chances to be brave, to get back up, and to show kindness. Thank you so much for joining me in this explainer. Keep making those wise choices that please him, and I'll catch you next time.